Hi there. So I am at KRA, and when you see me smiling, it's because of all the things I love to tell you when it comes to your obligation as part of nation building, is that when it comes to the tax amnesty, this is probably one of the best things to come out of KRA. And I'm saying that as me. Because sometimes when I'm say, Carol, I'm to file your returns and don't wait until the 30th. Now, I want to talk to corporate Kenya. I'll talk to business people. Come closer. There's a point where you just disagree with KRA. KRA tells you you owe this much, you say no, tuonane kotini. I decided to bring the person from KRA who can tell you, wait, we can work this out, and we can work this out before 30th June with a tax amnesty. But first, she must introduce herself.
My name is Shali Kituka. I work with the legal department here at KRA.
All right.
And specifically, we have a unit or a division which is called Tax Dispute Resolution Division.
Watcha.
So that's where people come to resolve their tax disputes.
Yes.
So we do that through two ways. At our division, we have the independent review of objections.
Yes.
That's when you've objected, as you said,
yes.
nimekata.
Yeah, nimekata. I don't owe you this money.
Correct. You've gotten the assessment, it's 70 million, and then you're saying, no, I don't have 70 million to pay you. But you object. So then you have that opportunity to sit with commissioner and, work it out. So objection is rooted in the Tax Procedures Act. It's something which is rooted in law, and it has a timeline of 60 days. So the issue of objection resolution, resolving your case through objection, you only have
60 days.
60 days to do that. So that's the timeline that's given, and that often ends up not being sufficient for some of the bigger cases which have a bit more issues to look into. So at that point, it's good to know that our division still has another unit called Alternative Dispute Resolution.
Okay.
So for Alternative Dispute Resolution, what you do is find
tier 2.
Yes, you still have another chance. So you're at level 2. And you basically have an opportunity to pick up from where you left off.
After the 60 days.
Right. So you come in and then you have, first of all, to say that you are not agreeing with the decision that was issued by the commissioner. Probably the 60 days reached and they issued a decision. You're still not agreeing. I still don't agree with this figure. So what do? You have to say that you don't agree with it. You can't object again. What you do?
No, we can't go back to step 1.
Right.
No, so now we are progressing.
Now you progress it by appealing. So you'll appeal to the Tax Appeals Tribunal.
What?
Tax Appeals Tribunal, it's not a very new thing, but it's been around since 2015. It's a tribunal which is currently housed at the judiciary of Kenya. Okay. So it's part of the judiciary.
It's a legal process.
Yes, it is. It is actually a quasi-judicial body. So it's like a court, but it's a tribunal.
Okay.
And they are actively on the judiciary website. You'll find them there now.
Okay.
So what they will do is admit your case, give you a case number. You're now starting a court process, basically.
Wow.
Yes. So now you're in the court process, but you still feel like you want to discuss. You still feel you can discuss with the commissioner. Yeah. You feel you need a space to explain yourself, because when you go to court, it's different. You go with your lawyer and you argue your case. Yes, you argue your case. The other side argues, and then someone else makes that decision.
True.
So when someone else is making the decision, it's not in your control, is it?
No.
So you still feel you need a space to explain yourself and to express yourself with respect to your dispute. And that's provided through Alternative Dispute Resolution.
Okay.
So what is Alternative Dispute Resolution? A lot has been said on Alternative Dispute Resolution. We've done quite a bit of marketing, but sometimes people still don't quite know what is it. So it's basically an alternative to the
going to court.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's an alternative to going to court. And you have a chance to do it through the KRA's framework for the same.
Okay.
So KRA's framework for the same basically employs mediation. So mediation sounds friendlier. We're getting friendlier. So mediation, you have a third party coming in who didn't give you that assessment. You see? So the mediator basically gives you a chance to lay out the case on both ends and tries to drive that process towards you guys meeting
at a certain point.
Correct. So a meeting of the minds is the ultimate outcome. So we're hoping that both parties get to just, agree at a settlement position which works for both of them.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
There's a business person listening right now, and it's saying, okay, let me go for tier 1, where I've got 60 days to resolve.
Yes.
In that time, can I apply for amnesty?
For amnesty. So I think for amnesty, what you'd have to do is basically reach a position where you've agreed on the principal tax.
Once we agree.
Yeah, you've had the engagements with commissioner, you've brought in your records, you've brought the commissioner.
But that's also tier 1, isn't it?
Basically.
Yeah, in those 60 days. And not that we have 60 days now between now and the end of. But if you've come in, na tushaongea, and we have agreed on the principle.
Yes.
We can now pay the principal.
Yes.
And the amnesty will take care of penalties and interest.
Take care of penalties.
Now at mediation,
yes,
if the mediation is successful, once again, we have agreed on a figure. The person in between has brought us to a number that we now agree on. What will now be required between now and the end of June?
Yes. What needs to happen
is that
you sign an agreement.
We sign the agreement.
Yes.
Agree that this is the principle.
Yes.
Na hapo ndio tutalipa.
Exactly. Yes.
Let's say we agree from 70 million, it's 55.
Correct.
If I pay the 55,
yes,
then penalties and interest.
100%.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a win.
It is a win.
Thank
it's actually
you.
a big win. Yes, we've actually introduced clauses into our agreements because what we do, we create the agreement for you, share with the parties, everybody's okay with what's captured there, then you get to sign. We've introduced clauses in the agreement talking about amnesty.
Okay.
And the clauses talk about, your installment period, your installment plan, how you want to pay it. If you want to break it down maybe into 3 installments, even if it's within a month, different days, whatever works for you, it's in there.
Okay.
And then we've included now the process which you have to go through. So after you've paid your principal tax, you will now apply for the amnesty. Make sure you apply for the amnesty because that could be a small lapse that might make you miss out.
But in this period, and I'm asking for my audience, when they're in front of you, tell them to please.
Yes.
See, so the whole idea of trying to pay our principal, and you want it as KRA.
Yeah.
So tell me to apply for the amnesty. Okay?
Yeah.
It'll be nice. But I have a feeling you are climbing. That means if we don't agree at tier 1 with the commissioner, we go to mediation.
Yes.
Tukikataa hapo, sasa tunaenda kotini. Hawa watu wa kotini watadu.
Now, this is how the ADR framework works in KRA. You remember I told you had first of all not agreed with the objection decision.
Yes.
You went to court.
Yes.
You filed your appeal at the Tax Appeals Tribunal. So what happens with our system, it's a bit unique. You'll find it's different in some other jurisdictions like, South Africa, other countries. Some countries tell you, once you're in court, no more discussion.
Oh.
But for us, we allow discussion all through. So you see, you've gone to the Tax Appeals Tribunal. Your case hasn't stopped. We've not asked you to pull it out of the tribunal.
No.
All you're doing is going to the tribunal and telling them, we feel like we still want to sit around a table and talk. So the tribunal gives you the time. So you're talking and engaging while your case number is still active.
It's still active.
All right. So let's say, the discussions collapse maybe. They don't work this time.
Yes.
It goes on at the tribunal and the tribunal can issue their decision.
Okay.
Now, once the tribunal issues their decision, the taxpayer many times can even come back and still say, you know what? I received a decision. It wasn't in my favor. I still want to talk. He just has to apply to the High Court, get their case at the High Court, and come back to ADR.
Watcha?
Yeah.
Really?
So we are really accommodating all the way up to the Court of Appeal. You can
We're given the impression you are mnakanga ngumu. You're like beyond this line, Hatu.
No.
So are you saying, let me speak as a layman, laywoman, that somebody has said, we have been at this with KRA for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm already at Court of Appeal.
Yeah.
Lakini nimechoka.
Yeah.
You're saying KRA says, it's okay, come.
They can.
Come back. But you're also saying, because this is where, the fee note of the lawyer is sitting there saying, Caroline, don't say that.
Stop.
Withdraw.
Yeah.
So you withdraw the case, right?
Yeah.
And then you come back?
Well, you actually don't have to withdraw. what happens is you seek leave of the court. That's what they call it. It's
Yes.
basically asking the court for permission. And just tell them you want to engage. KRA has a process for dispute resolution. We want to engage.
And I need to say this. Remember, it doesn't matter who you are. It's tough times.
It is.
I don't know whether you guys are also going to tell people it's tough times all around the world. Kenyans act like me too.
Yeah.
It's tough times all around the world.
Generally.
But it's tough times. And if you can get a reprieve of no matter how much,
Correct.
take it.
Correct.
I think that's where I am. I'm like,
Correct. I agree.
if you can. Yeah?
That's what we're trying to tell people to, consider. In fact, with the amnesty, the drive, for people to take up amnesty, there was reluctance, maybe sometimes from some quarters, maybe some lawyers have told me, no, I wouldn't advise my taxpayer to do that. Because,
Really?
You see, we have to think of the interest of the taxpayer.
Yes.
Sometimes, and the best interest of the taxpayer is to actually resolve the
Yes.
dispute.
Yeah.
Resolve
It's
it.
a monkey on your back.
Yeah,
It becomes a gorilla
it becomes
after
something.
yes, after a while.
So it's in the interest of the parties, everybody actually involved, is just to, get the solution to the thing by agreeing on a correct figure, which everybody feels, I was in business in this period, I did do business, so I did make income. This is the correct tax I should pay. Once you're agreed, pay it. And then you see yourself saving quite a lot
Yes.
on the interest and penalties within this window that we have for amnesty.
Umesema kila kitu. No, honestly, it's now up to you. And like I said in my previous videos, I have made sure that KRA has access to my pages to respond to questions. But I know in the case of business, I'm also going to add phone numbers. I'm going to add phone numbers to the text here so that you can actually call. Because when kimeumana, tumekosana, I mean, you need to be able to call somebody and say, kai chini.
True.
I want to agree on the principle. I want to be able to pay before the 30th of June. And then, my interest and penalties are gone.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's a huge saving. Yep. I like this. When you next see me, I'll be talking about e-teams. Yeah. There's work to be done, guys. We can't all be about, sunshine and flowers. We have a nation to build. See you.